welcome you live to Locust Valley High School, where tonight the Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Nassau Conference A5 Girls Basketball Showdown between the host Falcons of Locust Valley and the visiting Rams of Clarke High School. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin here. Before we kind of get started with our discussion on this game, we'll actually send it down to the court. This is senior night here at Locust Valley. A couple of very special seniors being honored for Locust Valley, and we'll join the ceremonies as they begin.
Some quick highlights on Paige. Paige is a 5-year varsity player. She has scored 1,037 points, including 1,000 She's an honorable mention of All-County, co-captain, and she's been a part of 68 wins in her career here at Locust Valley. Congratulations, Paige. And our second senior this evening, Julia Sabatino. Some of Julia's highlights. She recently scored her 1,000th point as well. 5-year starter on varsity. All-County Defensive Player of the Year in the conference last year. Our co-captain, and also along with Paige, has been responsible for 68 wins in 5 seasons.
So there you see the ceremony.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Two very special seniors, of course, Ben, for Locust Valley. 2 5-year players, 2 4-year starters, Julia Sabatino, Paige O'Brien, also 2 1,000-point scorers. It's a rarity to have 2 on the same team, and Locust Valley fortunate to have these 2 special young ladies on their team.
You know they're special players when the athletic director comes over to your announcer's booth before the game and hands you these beautifully produced postcards of the 2 of them. We'll see if we can get them on camera at some point before the end of the game. But, yeah, Danielle Turner, the athletic director for Locust Valley, we thank her for having us here tonight. Pretty impressive, and we're looking forward to a good game tonight.
Yeah, a lot on the line for both teams for the last game of the regular season. For the host, Locust Valley Falcons, well, it's quite simple. History is on the line. They are 18-0, as we showed you at the start of this game, and 11-0 in the conference. Here's the conference standings. They've already clinched first in the conference. They did that on Saturday with a win at Seaford. What they're chasing right now is trying to become the first girls basketball team in the history of this school to go undefeated during the entire regular season. They do that with a win tonight.
I mean, that's a pretty amazing statement right there. And I think they're going to get it, Dylan. I mean, look, Clarke is a competitive team. They're looking to get to 500, but I think all signs point to a win here for Locust Valley. And, you know, Varsity Media, we've covered this school and these athletic programs for over 10 years, and they go back, obviously, decades before that. So you're talking about something that no team has ever done here at Locust Valley. I know the girls got to be pretty proud about that.
Now, Clarke has a lot riding on this game, but also another result as well. As you mentioned, Locust Valley kind of, you'd say, heavy favorites to win this game. Clarke had a devastating loss to Mineola. They were up 13 at the half. They fell to Mineola. They are right now, as we see the standings again, they're in 4th. The top 4 teams, regardless of whether you're 500 or not, make the postseason. This is significant because of the team that they are tied with, but they're ahead of on a tiebreaker. Island Trees plays Seaford tonight. So should Clarke lose this game to Locust Valley, they will be big-time Seaford Vikings fans. Should Seaford beat Island Trees, well then Clarke goes into the postseason and back back-to-back years, which is really a terrific statement on Sean Feen's program, because these seniors, some special seniors in this team as well, as freshmen they only won 3 games, and from that point on they have won more and more each year. 7 as a sophomore, 9 as juniors, and this year the 11 wins. Last year they were in the playoffs for the first time since 2004, so they're looking to try to make it back-to-back years.
And that speaks to the growth of the girls to get better each year, and to the coaching as well here for Clarke. And no matter what happens in this game tonight, of course they want the win, but if they don't get it, at least they know that there's still a shot for them to get into the postseason. I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you happen to know if that game tonight is at Seaford or at Island Trees?
It is at Seaford, and it is a 7 o'clock tip, so it'll tip about 15 minutes after this game, which doesn't necessarily do the girls from Clarke any good,
Right.
although they will be on a bus going, so there'll be a lot of texting, I think, and a lot of checking phones.
I think if you're Clarke, you're holding your hat on the fact that, hey, Seaford's pretty good at 9-2, and they have a home game. So,
and their only 2 losses, obviously, to Locust Valley. First matchup between these 2 teams this year at Clarke, a 60-34 win for Locust Valley. But you kind of look beyond that. Now, what Locust Valley did in that game, and they've done all year, is they got off to a quick start. They led 24-10 after the first quarter, but Clarke cut it to 9 in the third quarter, which Locust Valley coach Michael Godone said that's the closest we've been late in a game to any team this year, conference or non-conference. So again, it speaks a little bit to what Clarke can do defensively. They got themselves back in the game. Godone had to call a timeout. They call a timeout. They kind of righted the ship a little bit, and then ended up kind of cruising a little bit in the fourth quarter. In that game, multiple scores for Locust Valley. That's a little bit of their story all year as well. You had Peyton Teeney with 21 points, Lindsay Hogan 16 and 8, and then the 2 seniors they have in this program, O'Brien with 11, Sabatino with 10. Bongiorno led the way for Clarke with 15. We'll take a quick look at the starting lineups while we have a chance. First for the host Locust Valley Falcons, and it's a very balanced it's balanced in terms of years, right? It's not a senior-laden team. We have the 2 seniors we showed you, Sabatino and O'Brien, but then you've also got Linden, a sophomore, Hogan, a sophomore, and then Peyton Teeney, a junior as well. So it's a very young group after the 2 seniors. Of course, their head coach we mentioned before, Michael Godone, a Locust Valley lifer. In fact, it was funny. He was teammates with Peyton Teeney's dad, and also went to school with O'Brien and Sabatino's fathers as well. He teaches over at Westbury, but Locust Valley very much in his blood.
all comes full circle, doesn't it? That's when you know you're getting old, when you're like, wait a second. I graduated with your dad, and now I'm coaching you?
Yeah, you figure the first meeting with the parents this year, that was more of a homecoming for him than kind of talk about old times. We'll take a look at the Clarke starting lineup, a little bit more senior heavy for Sean Feen's group. Grace Ann Murray, very much the leader, the engine that makes these Rams go. A 4-year starter at point guard, that rare 4-sport athlete, where she was all-county in field hockey, hoops, lax. She plays club soccer at a high level. She'll go on to play soccer at Iona. She's got a scholarship there. You also got Kayla Connolly, a senior as well. Haley Calabrese, also a senior. And the 2 juniors are Bongiorno and Femiletta. Again, we mentioned head coach Sean Feen, not from this area. He played at Delaware State in Pennsylvania, was a manager for the Marist men's basketball team, but he's very much embraced the whole atmosphere at Clarke. We'll take a quick break, and we'll have the opening tip and a lot more when we return. You're watching Nassau Conference A5 Girls Basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
And we're back here at Locust Valley, just about set for the opening tip. Last regular season game for both teams. And there you see the banners or the cards. You see O'Brien's, and at the very end there, you see Julia Sabatino's, as well as some other homemade signs here for the seniors.
Yeah, so it's on the wall, but also we have our very own postcards. Maybe, if you want
signed,
Julia,
right?
What's that?
We can get them signed.
We can get them signed. And I don't know, do you want Julie or do you want Paige? Which one do you want?
We might be able to get another one of each, right? And then we can get a whole signing.
We collect the series.
Yes.
Locust Valley Seniors.
Off the opening tip, it is the Falcons with the ball. O'Brien goes down low. She fakes the three, pulls up. Back rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball on the rebound, and it will go to the visiting Rams.
History is on the line tonight, folks.
Connolly Look for Locust Valley to try to pressure. There you see every time they want to try to double the ball, there's a three-point attempt from the corner by Murphy, no good. This allows now Locust Valley to get out and run. How about that? Size and speed. That was Hogan. She couldn't get her layup to fall.
Yeah, it was a great look out in front in the court, but going left-handed, couldn't get it to fall.
See the doubling. Nice inside move and a layup by Bongiorno.
Well, you know my cheesy lines. On this one, I'm going to go early. Bonjourn, yes, for the basket.
See, this is the problem. I wouldn't say it's your best material, but you have your puns so early.
Yeah.
That you struggle to. Right, exactly. 3-point ball, no good. There's Hogan again for the rebound. She misses the chippy, but another offensive rebound allows the Falcons to swing the ball around. Corner 3, that also no good. Battle for the loose ball goes off the hand of Calabrese. It'll stay with the Falcons.
Very similar to Friday night with the boys team. Got off to a cold start, and then they started getting it together. You would think maybe senior night, maybe a little butterflies going for an undefeated season, but I would expect Locust Valley to get a couple shots here.
Strong move by O'Brien, but it was an extra step that she took. So it'll be a turnover for the Falcons. And again, we mentioned before, you can see already they're picking up a full court press. Generally, they go 3 quarters, a 1-2-2, but it's all about picking up the ball as quickly as they can. Jump ball forced, and it'll be Locust Valley ball.
Well, at least they're getting it done on the defensive end here. Played in about 90 seconds, only giving up 2 points. You like that if you're Locust Valley.
And actually, the table is indicating it's the other way on that jump ball. So the Rams will have maintained possession. And there's Connolly giving it up to Murphy. Murphy is the engine that makes this Rams team go. And there you see the steal. Active hands by Sabatino. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll, again, stay with Clarke.
Really like the way Locust Valley has started defensively. Hands everywhere, as you see right there, by Sabatino.
Jumper off the mark. Loose ball picked up in front of us. That was Familetti, but here comes Locust Valley. And again, active hands in the passing lane. Intercepted that pass. Murphy comes right back down. She's guarded closely by Teeny. And now Connolly, bounce pass. Turning inside was Familetti, and again, she is stripped. Long outlet, a sloppy start. Really for both teams. It might be those nerves you mentioned before. Murphy is stripped from behind, that by Teeny.
Well, I think Clarke has had about 5 or 6 possessions so far. And in every possession, Dylan, Locust Valley has had hands or double teaming, or they have played really stifling defense. Here you see it again.
And that interior pass picked off. It allows, again, Locust Valley to get out and run. O'Brien, layup, no good. Loose ball chased down by Locust Valley. 3 ball, that hits the shot clock. That attempt by Hogan, 2-year varsity player, 2-year starter. And there's the trapping in the corner. And a timeout is taken. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here. And Ben, this is the last game of the regular season, but it's going to be a busy time for us at Varsity Media. We're so happy to really be all over the Nassau County postseason.
Yeah, let's take a look at some upcoming games. These will be playoff games. We're going to start with the semifinals that we know we will be broadcasting, and you'll have to go to our website, varsitymedialive.com, to catch the action. But right now, as you see, Class B on the 17th, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., Class A, February 29th, and Class AA. These are all semifinal games, and you can catch all the action, like I said, live at varsitymedialive.com. And all those games will be at SUNY Farmingdale.
And these teams are in the A's. Locust Valley, should they end the season undefeated, they're kind of projected to be the 2 behind Mike Spina's Floral Park team, who would likely, they're also undefeated. They'll likely be the number 1 seed.
Spina, our good buddy here on Varsity Media, and if he doesn't have a game right now, I'm sure he's watching, so we'll say hello to Mike, who does a great job for us on the football broadcasts. Great coach for both football and basketball, and he would also say baseball. So we'll give him love there as well. But you can't project too far ahead.
Right.
But selfishly, just because we support everybody, but just to see Locust Valley Floral Park in a championship, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, at that point, and what a great reverse layup underneath by Hogan. But you're right. I mean, look, it's not about rooting, but at that point, you would have two undefeated teams,
right.
The top two seeds as well, and there's a steal. And it looks like all they needed was that Hogan layup, and now Locust Valley feeling pretty good off the turnover.
Their defense, Dylan, is playing so good right now that if they convert on the offensive end, this would actually be an early blowout so far in the game.
Nice runner by Murphy.
As I say that, Clarke connects, so give them credit. But going back to Locust Valley offensively, like I said, I think they just need to settle down a little bit, get the shots that will fall that they want, the shots they work on.
There's Hogan.
I'm not sure that was the one we're talking about.
But another offensive rebound. O'Brien dials up a three. That rims out as well. Hogan again. The rebound. Sabatino swings it to O'Brien. Back iron, no good. Hogan, another rebound. And the putback.
Well, it's so easy to see why this team is undefeated. They do everything great. They play great defense. They get open looks, they get the shots, and then they get offensive rebounds. And when you can convert on all aspects in the basketball game, yeah, you're going to be undefeated.
Murphy under duress.
Just don't have a chance to breathe, Dylan, if you're Clarke.
Yeah, that was Teeny with that defense. If the last name Teeny sounds familiar, well, we broadcast the boys game on Friday. Her cousin, John, on the boys team. They do play a similar style. Another runner by Murphy doesn't fall.
We'll have the boys. The boys will be in the playoffs. So maybe we'll get a chance to see them in a couple of weeks.
Listen, I'm all for seeing anybody that we've broadcast already. That
Sure.
means that my charts are just about all done. It's always a good thing.
That's a travel.
And there is a travel by O'Brien. But back to your earlier point about Floral Park and Locust Valley, they're kind of connected at the hip a little bit. We project them, or they're being projected to be the 1 and 2 this year. A year ago, they were the 8-9, and they played each other in the playoffs for Floral Park, beating Locust Valley in that one.
Well, if they do meet each other, it'll be in the championship. It won't be in an 8-9 game.
Yeah.
But I know both of these teams are undefeated, and they're great. You still got to get through everybody.
Yes.
You still got to make it all the way. And that's what's exciting about it. I happen to really, really enjoy the Class A basketball tournament. There's so many teams, and you just never know what can happen on one game.
On both sides, too, the boys' side as
Correct.
well.
Correct.
Inbound is Calabrese, a three-sport athlete, field hockey, lacrosse. She's one of the co-captains, looking for options. Finds one in front of the Locust Valley bench. That three ball, no good. That's a jump. You remember the first jump went this way.
Right.
The next one will now go to Locust Valley.
Just seems like every time there's a loose ball or any opportunity to get that basketball, the Falcons are all over it.
There's Sabatino. And again, if you watched our boys game on Friday, first, we thank you for doing that. But during your interview at halftime, you heard a loud roar from the crowd. It's because Sabatino, number 3, hit a half-court shot.
Should you get anything for that?
I think praise. I don't think much more.
No, like Hyundai Sonata or anything like that? No cars were given out?
I don't think so. It might be like some sort of a violation.
That's unfortunate.
Hogan thought about it, whips it down low, and Teeny was trying to get the basket, but we have our first foul of the game.
Well, Locust Valley doing a nice job working it inside, trying to get the inside-outside game going, and that time Teeny getting position. Clarke with the foul.
As we said, first foul, inbound underneath. Sabatino fakes it, goes to O'Brien. Those two are very, very close. Both 5-year varsity players, both 4-year starters as well. As you mentioned from the start, both 1,000-point scorers. See those active hands again. Murphy, a little miscommunication with Bongiorno in the low post.
You know how rare it is for a team to have a 1,000-point score, and this team has 2? That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why they've had kind of this progression, right, year to year, and looking to do different things. Sabatino off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound, then the putback.
And if Clarke's going to be in this game for the longevity, they're going to have to make an adjustment because Locust Valley has been very successful at getting second chance opportunities on the offensive end.
That was Amber Linden with the putback 3 ball. No good. Offensive rebound by Martins, who had just checked in a moment ago. Battle the ball, and here goes Locust Valley. O'Brien from Sabatino.
Just an unbelievable outlook pass to lead O'Brien for the easy layup, and now it's 10-4 and a steal.
Another quick pass from Sabatino. This time the layup is by Teeny, and the timeout is for Clarke.
Well, I talked about it. Once Locust Valley got things going on the offensive end, I thought the game could get out of hand, and here we are as we take another look on a turnover and just a great outlet pass. Look how Sabatini leads O'Brien, getting ahead of the defense.
And that's a little bit of that communication about being on varsity for the same time. You saw how quickly they switched from defense to offense. It was seamless, and O'Brien knew the route to run. The same thing that we saw a moment ago from Teeny as well. So they're out in transition. And we mentioned a moment ago, Locust Valley, when we spoke to Godone the other day, he said we thought we'd be pretty good, and that we would contend for a conference championship and be one of the top seeds. The goal was, last year they were 9. They wanted to win their conference and maybe be like a 4 or 5 seed. He said, we played a very tough non-league schedule, but he's very pleased and happy. He did not think that they would be quite as good as they have been this year. He said a lot of pieces had to have come together, but they did. And he kind of points, we mentioned Island Trees before, right? They've got a very, very special player in Brianna Fitzgerald. And Island Trees is a team that traditionally has given Locust Valley a lot of hard times. So they played the game at home this year. Locust Valley, Godone said, they handled that pressure, that big moment, dealing with an elite player like Fitzgerald. They kind of won going away, and at that moment he thought, you know what, we could maybe be pretty good.
Well, he was right about that.
Yeah, they have not looked back.
Let's see what kind of adjustments Clarke makes here. They really need to stop the bleeding.
Quick jumper. Back iron, no good. That was Jenna, the sophomore. O'Brien strong to the hole, no good. Jump ball, this will come this way.
Yeah, I thought officials could have called a foul on O'Brien going strong to the basket. They're letting him play. But again, off the timeout deal, and you see Clarke, they did get an open look, so you take that shot. But right off the inbounds, Locust Valley's defense is right there.
Jenna, number 2, as there's another turnover there, is very much their zone buster. So Locust Valley likes to play zone defensively. And there's Hogan for 3. That's good.
Well, man, if they start connecting from downtown, watch out. This game could get out of hand early here in the first quarter.
7 for the sophomore. And she looks good. I mean, she looks like a college basketball player. Again, realizing she's just a sophomore, and the clock winds down for the end of the first quarter. An impressive one for Locust Valley, but that's what they've done all year. They get out to a quick start. They knock down their shots. There's Hogan dialing up a 3. Locust Valley leads Clarke 15-4. You're watching Nassau Conference A5 Girls Basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Locust Valley. 8 minutes in the books. And the host Falcons, after a slightly slow start, out to a 15-4 lead. Ben, you mentioned before a lot of girls basketball playoff games, but a lot of boys as well in Nassau County. We'll take a quick look at what we have coming up.
Yeah, very similar to the girls. VarsityMediaLive.com will have the boys semifinals, Class B on the 18th. Class A on the 29th and Class AA on March 1st.
So again, Varsity Media Live. Bookmark that. That's where you need to be for all of the Nassau County playoff action. 3 ball off the mark, no good. Another offensive rebound. O'Brien for 3 back iron, no good. And a jump ball called. And I'll tell you what, you kind of live with the missed threes when you're getting all these offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to complain or pinpoint anything that Locust Valley isn't doing well right now. They're out to a commanding lead. Everything's working.
And again, first game as an offensive rebound brought down by Martins. And there goes Murphy, too strong off the rim and a quick outlet. And this is what Locust Valley does so well. Out in transition, and Sabatino with 2.
Well, I hope if those that are watching can appreciate, we're in for a treat here today, folks. This is our first girls' game of the season, and we picked a good one. Thanks to Danielle Turner for having us out, the athletic director for Locust Valley, Dylan. But, I mean, it's easy to see why this is an undefeated team.
And there's Sabatino. Kicks it in the corner. Hogan out top. Dribble penetration by Teeny. And the rebound goes to Clarke. Again, that first matchup this year was actually 24-10, the lead. So more impressive in that one by Locust Valley. That 3 off the mark. And Hogan to Sabatino to O'Brien. And just like that, 2 more.
I like the aggressive play by Lauren Jenna, though, for Clarke because, you need to fire these shots up. There's not too many times where Clarke isn't going to have a uncontested basket, and that's what Jenna's doing. She sees it, she gets it, she shoots it. And she hasn't made them yet, Dylan, but that's the play I think you got to go with.
Well, that's what the sophomore is. She's a very good outside shooter. She was called up as a freshman late in last season. Talk about her shooting and her ability. She hit 7 threes against Glen Cove this year.
Yeah, and right now they're not falling, but she's the only one that I see right now that's able to get a shot. Now, she has some space, so she's able to get it up. But I think that's what you have to do if you're Clarke. You have to at least set and then fire it up and see. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Hogan to O'Brien. Swings it out top. Sabatino. And there is Teeny for 3. The bank is open.
Well, Clarke's got to be shaking their head and saying, are you serious? We're already down 15, and you're going to get that one to go?
22-4, the score. Teeny's got 5. Another loose ball. It's O'Brien. She could walk in. All she had were her teammates in front of her. She's got 6 now.
Well, Dylan, I know it's senior night, and there's only 2 on this Locust Valley team. I don't know how long they're going to play in this game.
Nice inside pass and a nice layup by Familetti. Her first 2, and it doesn't stop the bleeding, but at least allows Clarke to feel a little bit better. That was quite a run by Locust Valley. And you could see they just kind of went into a different gear, Ben, after that early start. Another 3 ball. It's O'Brien.
Dylan, this is some unbelievable basketball. I mean, it's wild. 27-6. They don't seem to be missing from downtown. Their defense is phenomenal. I mean, I think they're putting on a statement here. I would expect some other Class A coaches to be watching this game just to get a sense. Hey, this is the 1 or 2 seed that's coming into the tournament. And, they got to be worried, Dylan.
Linden outlets. There's Teeny. Contact. Old-fashioned 3.
I mean, you see it now, folks. Every time down the court, it is almost a guaranteed basket for the Lady Falcons.
Well, you could see, Ben, too, the window was there early. Maybe the first 3 minutes, Locust Valley shots weren't dropping. They were a little bit hesitant with the ball. That's when those shots needed to fall for Clarke. They didn't. Locust Valley kind of got their mojo going, and they've not let up since. Offensive rebound off the missed free throw goes to Hogan. Now she dials up a 3 off back iron, no good.
And I'm just not sure that Clarke, even in that best case scenario, I don't know that they have the offensive prowess to hang with Locust Valley.
Well, a lot of things have to go right, and none of them have gone right so far for the Rams. You've got a very good 3-point shooter in Jenna, you mentioned before, not hitting her shots. Murphy's very good getting to the basket. She's had a couple opportunities, and generally speaking, the Rams are pretty good at getting rebounds. They've got a size advantage over a lot of teams, but And they were better on the glass in the first matchup, but not tonight. Foul looks like on the way up. That was Calabrese, the co-captain, along with Murphy. And she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, their first foul. I mean, they've been aggressive defensively, Locust Valley has, where they've been able to cause turnovers and not foul too much. So you don't see Clarke at the free throw line for some easy points, but right there taking advantage of it. Nice job by Calabrese.
Yeah, Calabrese is the unquestioned emotional leader of this team. She's someone that head coach Sean Fien says is a kid who just gets it. The second free throw is good as well. She does everything the right way, and on top of that, you love to hear these things, she's a scholar athlete as well. So she takes her academics as seriously as she does her basketball.
Well, you say I like to see that, but I just think stop showing off these kids. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's great. Great achievements all around. Anytime you could be named a scholar athlete, that's pretty remarkable.
Here comes Teeny now to the line. She missed her last free throw trying to get that three-point play. And that one also off the back iron, no good. Teeny, soccer and lacrosse. She was a backup point guard a year ago. She came into this year kind of splitting time between point guard and shooting guard as well. We have a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. And there's a ball movement. Inside, out, and that's a 3-ball by O'Brien. That's how you play. You the way that you stretch defenses is you push it inside, and then you get it back out. Here's a look at the Clarke sideline and Sean Fien. And again, you've got to coach 4 quarters. It's a long game. He said it's been kind of an up-and-down year. They got off to a really good start. They won 7 of their first 8. They had a little bit of a bump after that. They steadied the ship in the second half of conference play. They were 5-3 with home games coming up. They felt good, but they struggled. Up 13 at the half against Mineola. They lost by 1. That would have clinched them a playoff spot. Again, we mentioned at the top they could still get in, even with a loss tonight, if Seaford can beat Island Trees. But you don't want to have to wait on results, right? You want to get things done on your own. There's an interior pass rimming around that shot by Bongiorno.
Yeah, Hogan coming down with the rebound. She's just, presence down low for Locust Valley on both ends of the court, and she's really got things going early in the first for Locust Valley.
There she is again, swings it left side. Teeny down low to O'Brien. Look how quickly they're moving offensively, and O'Brien steps back and buries the 3.
Well, what she did to Bongiorno is just not fair. Bongiorno's got to respect her going down the line, driving. She steps back. How many girls can do that? The step back and nails a 3-point shot. That's why she is such a great player.
She's got 12. Sabatino, a strong move to the hole. 2 more for her. She's got 6.
I just don't know how you could stop this Locust Valley team.
That might end up being a question for our buddy Spina.
But before he sees them, there's going to be a bunch of other teams that have to get through in Class A. There might be a lot of coaches watching this game, Dylan, and they're Xing and O's it right now, saying, geez, we got to do this, we got to stop them here, and then you get on the court, it's a whole different story.
Rare mistake there by Maddie Driscoll. She got the rebound. She tried to outlet to Hogan, but ball went out of bounds.
And, we have focused on the 2 seniors, and rightfully so. Everybody on this team can play basketball.
Listen, I am so impressed. She's off the floor now, but Lindsey Hogan is a baller. 5'10" sophomore, averaging 14-7 a game.
So you're saying in 2 years we'll be back for her 1,000-point game is what you're saying?
Again, I've seen a lot of hoops, and she's won because of her size, and you got to think, too, as a sophomore, she's still growing a little bit.
And I really like Peyton Teeney's game, the junior, the southpaw. Players everywhere.
Yeah, there's Riley Roberts, 25. She checked into the game. There's Teeny, bouncing it down low. Loose ball. Picked up again by O'Brien. Flings it down low, trying to find Teeny. It went off her hands. It'll be Clarke ball.
That was unfortunate because it actually went off Familetta's hands first and then deflecting off Locust Valley.
Locust Valley does zone. They're primarily a 1-3-1, but they show some 2-3 as they do here as well. But there's man principles inside of that. And as we've seen, a lot of doubling the ball and making Clarke's ball handlers very uncomfortable.
Another steal.
That'll be another jump ball as well. And that'll stay here with the visiting Rams. Struggling to get the ball in bounds, and it does go to Bongiorno. Out top to Murphy, and she knocks one in off glass. Murphy, only her 4th point. She comes in averaging 13 a game. O'Brien to Riley. Roberts back out to O'Brien. She's feeling it.
That's not fair. I mean, that's just not fair, folks. That's beyond the 3-point line.
A trio of triples for O'Brien in this second quarter. She has 15, outscoring Clarke on her own by 5.
And just think, if you make the adjustment, if you're Clarke, okay, we're gonna pressure, or we're gonna extend our defense out to the 3-point line. What does that do? In the low post, they're going to be wide open girls down low. You talk about a player like Hogan, who I think's on the bench right now. She's probably licking her chops. Coach, let me get back in the game. They extend that defense. I'm going to have easy looks at the basket.
Well, also it's a matter of how quickly they move the ball, that there'll be an open player if you double or if you box in one O'Brien. And again, you've got Sabatino as that 1-2 threat. 5-second violation down low.
Yeah, for me, everything starts with their defense. And I bet if you ask Coach, he would say the same thing. They're just so tenacious, and they cause so many turnovers. It's very rare to see.
And it's one of the reasons why, again, they've gotten out to such big leads. And there's O'Brien again, misses that one off the back iron. Offensive rebound. Sabatino can't get it to fall. And Roberts, the aggressive look down low. By the way, she is an 8th grader.
It is really remarkable how the makeup of this team is all over the place.
Yes.
Seniors, a couple of juniors, a couple of sophomores. You mentioned an 8th grader. I mean, that's a mix you just don't see all the time, and then it's working to perfection.
And Godone loves it, right? Because it means that there's that symmetry from year to year. You've got so many players. Yes, you'll lose a pair of 1,000-point scorers, but you've got everybody else on this team who had seen a lot of varsity minutes. Another jump ball. This will stay with Locust Valley, and with 29.4 on the game clock, they will have the opportunity to hold for the last, but they've been pretty aggressive offensively. O'Brien says, forget that. And they'll get another chance at the last shot.
Yeah, when you're up by 28 points, I don't really think it matters too much holding for the last shot. Plus, they know if they score early, they're probably going to get a turnover on the opposite side. It might be looking as a 2-for-1.
Teeny looks for options, gets one in O'Brien. Sabatino back to O'Brien. You could hear Godone saying, hey, one shot. O'Brien. 8 on the game clock. There's Roberts. Dribble penetration, kicks it back out. O'Brien fakes the floater, and that is good. What a first half by O'Brien, and what a first half by the Falcons. It was a slow start, but they've fired on all cylinders since. It's senior night, and this is a special senior, Paige O'Brien. What a first half for her. She's got the Falcons out to a 40-10 lead. We'll actually keep it right here. We were treated to his great performance by the kick line at Locust Valley on Friday night. And for those who missed it, or if you saw it then, here they go again.
People in the house, get up and scream and shout. Say hey, hey, hey.
one count of 8 for the legend.
Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake or loyal? Why know why the death is sign, baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come.
slipping away. I give up out your wave, drowning my soul in the basement. Look, I ain't got much in the bank, I got a lot I can say. God of what goddess is, hey, I hope you forgive my mistakes. Yeah, run around with a renegade, you should take a seat, save your energy. I try to heal a gas with a band-aid. In a time of need, you call your enemies. I landed in a visa and I need a visa. I ain't playing with you, this on mama me. I need a hottie toddy with a body, yeah. I just spit the knowledge, then I'm out of here. That's what they are when we come around. Yeah. This is your time when we want it now. How big is your army? $100. If you want the rain, then we coming down. Stumble the cool, I'm awesome. Kick flipping the Carsons, we should run for the pool. I got the 5 flow, the department exhausted. I owe nothing to you. I'm in the Tahoe, man, you making me nauseous. Pulling up with the crew, you such a hype beast, man, you making me vomit. Look, watch me, watch me, watch me do this. It's always been more than the music. You riding waves on the back of my cruise ship. Look, watch me, watch me, watch me do this. Since 2012 I've been the
Locust Valley. Second half just about to start. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin here. What a first half. What a display it was for the host Falcons of Locust Valley. A little bit of a slow start. They led 15-4 at the end of the first quarter, and they erupted for 26 points in the second, and they've got a 40-10 lead. Their leader tonight, as she has been for much of really her 5 years here, was Paige O'Brien with 17 first half points. Second leading scorer was Peyton Teeney with 8, 7 for Hogan, and Sabatino, kind of, I guess you'd say, a quiet 6, but a really, really impressive display by the host Falcons.
Yeah, and you had alluded to the slow start. I think you just totally forget about that now. Slow start? What slow start? Doesn't even matter when you have a 30-point lead heading into the third quarter.
And again, the Falcons chasing history if they win this game tonight. Foul called, a little bit of a hand check. They will become the first girls basketball team in program history to end the regular season undefeated.
So move over 1972 Dolphins?
Well, they were not a girls basketball team here at Locust Valley, so.
Impressive. I mean, you know what's even doubly impressive is we've got 2 undefeated teams in Class A.
Yeah, Floral Park certainly looking, this is the last day of the regular season. There's Hogan for 3. Off rim, no good. Rebound goes to Calabrese. Looking for help, finds it in Melissa Martins. gives it right back to Calabrese. And Murphy, Grace Ann Murphy fouled on her cut. I mentioned before, a rare four-sport athlete. And in 3, she's all county. In field hockey, in hoops, and lacrosse. And by the way, that none of those are her primary sport. It's soccer, which she plays club ball in, and she'll go on and play at Iona College. She'll play Division I
That's amazing.
Soccer for them.
That's unbelievable. 4 sports.
Martins swings it. Calabrese down low. Bongiorno unable to handle it. And Martins comes up with the loose ball. She's pressured. It goes to the hands of Hogan. Long outlet. Layup was too hard. Battle for the loose ball. Another jump ball. We had a few of those in the first half. This one will go with the visitors from Clarke.
What happened with Teeny just ran out of space. She overran the basket on the pass, and then when she finally controlled and came up, she was already past the hoop, Dylan. So
another correction at the scores table. We saw one in the first half, and this one, another correction saying actually the ball will go to Locust Valley, but they will do so after a timeout. We'll keep it here, and again remind folks that while this is the last game of the regular season, not by any means the last basketball games of our season at Varsity Media.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having the opportunity to live stream some playoff games for you. If you're a basketball fan, then you're going to want to tune in. We're going to switch over to VarsityMediaLive.com. That's where you're going to want to go as we get into the semifinals. Class B will be played February 17th. You know, your Oyster Bays, Cold Spring Harbors, Malverns, the Class B. Then right here, Locust Valley, they expect to be in the semifinals. That would be February 29th. Dylan, I don't know if you were paying attention, but that's a leap year, an extra day in the month. And then on March 1st, the day after, we're going to have semifinals of AA.
It's just an extra day for basketball.
It's an extra day for a lot of things, basketball being one of them.
Corner 3, no good. Another defensive rebound for Calabrese.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
If you were born on the leap year, February 29th, when do you celebrate your birthday the 3 other years?
Maybe you don't, and that birthday is so special when it comes up. Hogan, a little bit too strong.
Are you younger then? Do you not count?
Correct. Like you might be 40, but in actuality, like
you're 10.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never had that
No, I don't know anybody who was born on February 29th. Oh, our director Chris is pointing and saying that he does know somebody born on a leap year.
We'll have to get that answer then.
Yeah. I would assume March 1st would be the day you celebrate.
Or do you stay in February, just go a day back?
So I would think you would go March 1st. It's pretty cool, though. I don't know. Is it? I guess it's pretty cool to be born on February 29th.
1 for 2 goes O'Brien. And there's those active hands again. This time it's Linden. Look at his move. End to end, coast to coast. Amber Linden.
Only a sophomore, folks, but there's so many ball handlers on this Falcon team. Saw a moving pick there by Clarke, getting away with it. Bongiorno. Travel there, too. So the officials are letting them play a little bit.
Sabatino has options, finds O'Brien off the rim, but there is the rebound.
Teeny, it looked like. I thought.
I think it was Linden, actually.
You know, Locust Valley is good enough. You can't allow them to get second chance opportunities. And Clarke just giving up on that play led to another basket for Locust Valley.
Off glass and in goes Bongiorno. Really, really improved. Probably the biggest improvement year to year for this Rams team.
It's a pretty amazing stat that Clarke only has 12 points in this game. We're in the third quarter. How about the defense by Locust Valley?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand. You see the great ball movement and their ability to score in bunches, to get out to quick leads. You mentioned the first matchup this year. They led 24-10 after the first quarter in their last game of the year against Seaford. And by the way, Seaford came into that game with only 1 loss in the year to Locust Valley.
Right.
Locust Valley won that game 69-30 at Seaford, and they led 24-5 after the first quarter.
They really have run up the score on team. Not run up the score, but gotten out in front to large leads and then just defensively have locked down on teams.
They kind of feed each other, right? The defense, the stifling defense, allows, there's another jump ball, it allows Locust Valley to then do what they do best, which is get out and transition and get those quick baskets. So an interesting thing that Sean Feen, the Clarke coach, says, in girls basketball, you can be so successful if you do two things consistently. You make your free throws and you make your layups. And that's something that Locust Valley has done. They've been one of the teams that has consistently done that from game 1 until now game 19. O'Brien flashes for the ball, bounce past Sabatino. In the corner to O'Brien. She steps back. She hit a 3 on a step back before. She spins, slices through the Rams defense for a layup.
She's an incredible player, folks. What more can you say? Does it all over the court.
And she's got 20. A runner by Murphy.
Usually you would think timeout in this situation, but 47-14. I think Coach Feed might end this game with a couple timeouts in his hip pocket.
We mentioned at the beginning Sabatino, who now drives the basket, and O'Brien. Very much the leaders of this team. O'Brien, really both of them are remarkable athletes. But tonight it's O'Brien with the hot hand. This one will end up being a turnover for the Rams and chased down by the aforementioned O'Brien. She's also, by the way, the goalkeeper in soccer. She leaves the match right now, or the game, matches in soccer. Also the pitcher in softball. She's in the top 10 in scoring in Nassau County this year as well. Another vastly improved player. Look at that move. Athletic by Teeny. And then Sabatino called for the reach around. Teeny's in double-digit scoring. She had 8 in the first half. She's now got 10. Her season average is 11.8. By the way, Teeny also soccer and lacrosse. So because these are smaller schools, we see a lot of three-sport athletes for both. The majority for Locust Valley is soccer or field hockey. I say actually more field hockey and lacrosse. For Clarke, it's a lot of field hockey, soccer, and softball. A lot of softball players in his team.
Yeah, Clarke's always had a good field hockey program. And Locust Valley had a very good field hockey season this year. And they had a great lacrosse season last year. So both these schools have had a lot of success in the athletic departments.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for the lacrosse season, which collegiately has already started. High school-wise, we are, I guess, about a month away. I'd say, or less than a month, really, at this point.
Well, for practice, less than a month. Actually, I think officially March 8th or 7th is when they start. Games we won't see until St. Patrick's Day.
All right,
and we will have a large slate of games this year.
Yeah.
Tremendous slate of games, both on the boys and girls side.
In the corner, that's a 3 ball. That's off the mark, and this is how quickly Locust Valley turns defense to offense. Another layup. Sabatino, she's probably close to double digits in assists. That pass to Teeny, who now is above her season average at 12.
I mean, that's the theme of the night here, Dylan. There isn't a possession Clarke has where there is not a Locust Valley player in their face. And right there, Teeny causing it up and down. I mean, every single possession.
Well, it's funny you mention that. If you look at our notes, that's exactly what Godone said was something they wanted to do. They want to pressure on every possession. They want teams to feel uncomfortable when they have the ball. And you'd certainly say, check those boxes for Locust Valley tonight.
Yeah, there's no two ways around it.
There's an N1 by Bongiorno. On a team that right now only has 16 points. 6 are from Bongiorno. With this free throw, she'll be at her season average. Coach Fiend says what he likes about Bongiorno, the junior, is that she does things every day that are winning plays. That free throw off the mark. She battles. She's a good rebounder. She's a better finisher as this season has gone on. See some additions here for the Falcons. Karina Fox, the junior, checked in. That was number 23, and that was Trisha Mavros, number 2, right in front of us collecting that loose ball.
Yeah, we're getting some of the younger players or those that don't get too many minutes, although I think on this team they probably do, get an opportunity here late in the third.
There's been so many, I guess you'd say, lopsided results that it's another luxury you have is that you can utilize your bench and have players who maybe in closer games wouldn't normally see time get in the game.
I think they call that valuable minutes.
Yes. And here is Fox, averaging just under 2 points a game. And we're just under 2 minutes, actually approaching a minute left now in the third quarter. There's Biddy Grisalfi. Her name's Elizabeth, but she goes by Biddy.
I can get behind that.
Sure. Little fake 3, swing down low. Nice ball movement by Clarke. Calabrese unable to get that layup to drop. Under a minute now to go here in this third quarter. It's been all Locust Valley as the Falcons look to complete an undefeated regular season. They've already accomplished a major goal this year, which is to win the conference title. They did so by beating Seaford on Saturday. That 3-point attempt by Mavros blocked, and this allows Clarke to get out and run. There's Murphy. Puts on the brakes, looks for help. Finds Bongiorno, swings it left side. They've got to get a shot up, and that is Murphy. 3-point ball, no good. And that does it for the third quarter. Another dominant one by Locust Valley. They've led from opening tip to this point. 24 minutes in the books. We've got 8 more to play. You're watching Nassau Conference A5 girls basketball on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And welcome back to Locust Valley. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin with you as we've got 8 minutes left in the regular season. And will those Rams make the postseason? They won't get the win that they would have hoped for here, but they have hope, and they become big Seaford Vikings fans on the ride back to campus.
Yeah,
that's because if Seaford beats Island Trees, Clarke is in the postseason for a second straight season. Sean Fiend says, really, we want to do it for our seniors. And, you know, look, there's 2 special seniors on this Locust Valley team, but the seniors for Clarke have really been the core, and they've bought in. Look, it's not easy when you're a freshman to be on a team that goes 3-17. And then, again, realizing that for a lot of them, this isn't their primary sport. So you could think, right, you can come off a year like that and say, listen, I just want to concentrate on soccer or field hockey or lacrosse. but they all returned. They all came back. They all wanted to battle. And there's been a steady improvement for Clarke. 7 wins as a sophomore class, 9 as a junior. This year, 11. They're hoping for more, and they're hoping to make it to the postseason for the second straight year. It was a layoff, and there's Sabatino with a layup. They last made the postseason in 2004 until they made the playoffs a year ago.
All started by Hogan. First on the rejection on the defensive end, and then the long outlet pass. Really an incredible player, and not even a senior yet, folks.
Sabatino with 8. So she likely will get into double digits as well. Nice ball movement, and there's a layup by Familetti.
Hogan has a chance to be a really special player for this
telling
Falcon team. You're right about it.
And the fact is, too, you see her right there in front of us, and as we praise her, an errant pass, but we see how big she is, and she's got those guard skills, but that's only because she grew 4 or 5 inches in the summer. So last year, think about it. She's 5'10", so a year ago she was like 5'6", 5'7" as a guard, and now she's 5'10". She plays inside, but she could guard any position. She's got those great feet and the ability to knock down some outside shots as well. Offensive rebounds by Familetti, the junior. A little bit different for her. She is a 3-sport star as well, but it's volleyball and lacrosse this year. Originally, she played softball, but she's come out for lacrosse this year. Coach Fiend says she's their strongest and biggest kid down low. There's what you like to see. Jenna from 3. No hesitation. You mentioned it earlier. The shot just didn't drop. That time it does. Her first 3 of the game.
Yeah, happy to see her get one in there. Nice looking 3. And I agree with you. Anytime she's had the basketball, she has not hesitated to fire it up there.
Hogan whips it down low to O'Brien. The hoop and the harm.
And we talked about this in the first half. If you're a coach of a Class A team right now and you've got to go up against Locust Valley, I don't know what you draw to stop this team. I mean, you can't stop O'Brien. Hogan's all over the court. It's going to be very difficult for teams to get through Locust Valley here in the playoff season.
You would think maybe a team that has some athletic bigs could cause problems.
How many of those teams are out there?
Yeah, there's a handful,
At the Class A level.
Yeah.
Maybe Manhasset.
Well, that's a team. As there's another 3 ball by Jenna. She's going to heat up now. Well, it's interesting you say Manhasset because the other day when we were here for the boys' game, we were hoping to speak with Coach Godone before the game, and he said, "Listen, I'm sorry, guys. I actually have to go out and scout." It was as Teeny steps out. It was Manhasset that he was scouting that night.
I want to correct you. She didn't step out, Dylan. She was out of bounds when she took that pass.
And looks like O'Brien's going to leave the game. Big ovation. She goes to the end of the bench, and if she is indeed done for the game, she's got 22 points in her pocket.
And unfortunately, our cameras are on the side of the bleachers where the fans are.
Well, look at that.
There's a couple of fatheads in the audience today in the stands with O'Brien's head.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not insulting anyone. They're actually cardboard cutouts of her head. I think there were a few Sabatinos as well, right?
Yes, I saw one of Sabatino. I just saw O'Brien. And it's not really a fathead. It's more like a blown-up picture of their faces on a stick, which is great.
Listen, the marketing campaign for the two of them, I mean, again, they're on very professionally done postcards that we showed you in the beginning that were blown up. They're behind the basket that Clarke is attacking right now.
And just in case you did want some extra ones to take home, when we leave the gym, they have some extra ones for you.
Well, like we mentioned, we have one of each, so maybe we take the other one.
But I think our director, Chris Sweeney, would like to bring a couple home as well.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I see him checking them out. Maybe we need to get Varsity Media postcards of all of us.
No, I can guarantee you nobody wants those.
Oh.
There's Hogan in the corner. She'll go for 3, and look at that. nothing but the bottom of the net. She's in double figures. She's got 10. That's the other thing, Ben, about this Locust Valley team. They've got 4 double-digit scorers on this team.
Tremendously balanced, and you don't know where it's coming from. And that's what makes them so dangerous.
I lauded O'Brien possibly for leaving the game, and she's back at their scorers table for an encore.
Well, I think the fans, they want their O'Brien. The last opportunity, no, I should take that back because there will be first-round games here at Locust Valley. Actually, I think the first 2 rounds will be at Locust Valley before they head to Farmingdale.
Now, speaking of Farmingdale, and there's another 3. Good job by Murphy. And this is what you like to see as well. As a host of substitutions for both teams, you like to see this from Sean Feen's team. Look, he knew he was up against it, against Locust Valley, right? But look at this fourth quarter. He's got 14 points. They're outscoring Locust Valley right now, 14-7. That's a sign of a team that doesn't give up, that they battle to the end. And again, you kind of hope that they find their way in the playoffs because they're not going to be an easy out. Sabatino for 3, no good. Loose ball rebound. Unable to corral it was Michaela Mora. It'll go to Clarke. You were mentioning it off air before we came back, but a really good turnout here at Locust Valley. The bleachers are to our left, and it looks pretty crowded.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching the stream, you might say, well, I don't see anybody in the game.
It's the other side.
Right, they don't have bleachers on that side that you're seeing on the benches side. But it is pretty jam-packed here behind us with the Locust Valley faithful. We saw that Friday night with the boys, and they do a nice job here at Locust Valley supporting their teams.
Yeah, and again, it's a smaller school. There goes Sabatino, gets some hugs as she goes to the bench after her last regular season game is over. But it is a smaller school, Locust Valley, but you could see the support throughout the student body and the different athletic programs. A lot of these girls were here for the boys' game the other day, and vice versa. And now O'Brien does get her curtain call and a big ovation from her teammates and the crowd as well. Trisha Mavros, 3, no good. And the rebound will go to Clarke. Under 2 minutes to play. Again, you got to give Clarke some credit here. Murphy shot doesn't fall. Mavros chases down the rebound. They've made it really as respectable as you could hope for after a 30-point deficit in that first half. And again, they've played hard. And for Grace Ann Murphy, number 5 there's Jenna again, another 3-ball.
She's not afraid to shoot, folks. That is for sure.
Listen.
Only a sophomore.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier 7 threes against Glen Cove this year, and she's got 3 in this fourth quarter alone. If a few of those shots fell earlier, she'd certainly be in double figures. Murphy gets a nice applause from the crowd as well. Looks like she will go to the bench for the last time during the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying Locust Valley has put in some players that don't normally play the full length of the game, so Clarke is going to have some more opportunities here for some open shots, and you got to convert, and that's what they're doing.
Connolly finds Jenna, back to Connolly, and there is Isabella Pasilico, senior. She's a 2-sport athlete. The only one, though, on this team that also plays tennis. That's actually the other sport that Godone coaches for Locust Valley. Another 3-ball. Jenna can't get this one to fall. Under a minute left. Offensive rebound by Bongiorno. There's Jenna again.
Why not? Just keep putting it up
Sure.
there.
She's got that confidence, and Locust Valley can now hold for virtually the last shot. There's like a 0.5 second differential between shot and game clock.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot this, so unless Clarke forces a turnover, they will be satisfied with this 58-33 outcome.
And they'll just let the ball roll out and
listen to the crowd.
Well, listen,
I think part of it is they want to acknowledge, hey, congratulations on an undefeated season.
Yeah, history's been made here tonight, and you've seen it live on Varsity Media. With this 58-33 win, Locust Valley, you can see the reaction from their team. They are the first team in the history of girls basketball to go undefeated during the regular season. So congratulations to them, and it bodes well for them potentially for the postseason as well. Again, you kind of think that they're going to be a team that can contend for a title. They will likely be the number 2 seed. There you see some of the basketball dates ahead. Class B on the 17th, doubleheader. Class A on the 29th, and Class AA on the 1st. And we are happy to have with us now live on the air Michael Godone, the head coach at Locust Valley. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
On the win. And look, you were chasing history tonight. You ticked off one box on Saturday by winning the conference championship. That was a goal that was set.
Absolutely.
But tonight, you've done something that's never been done before in Locust Valley. You've got to be so proud of the girls.
I can't tell you how proud I am. You know, we've been speaking all year long just about the next game and moving on and getting better and better. And, you know, there has been a little bit of buzz about our record. Obviously, it's kind of like when a pitcher has a no-hitter, you don't want to talk to them. But we just been going and getting better and better, and we always knew it was there. But our main goal, you know, as you mentioned before, was just to get the conference number 1. But to be able to do it at home, undefeated, with our seniors tonight, who have been so special for us, it's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, when you get a performance like you did from Paige O'Brien tonight as well, and tremendous game from her, 22 points, and you mentioned it in the lead up to this game, the defense then feeds the offense. You saw a lot of rebounds, loose balls, and then kicking it out and getting out in the run and doing what you guys do best.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we focused at the beginning of the year about trying to be a pressure team, and it's almost like each time when we kind of hold back a little bit, then our offense sags. So when we're trapping and running and moving, that's really the team we want to be. And we've gotten so much better, as you mentioned, you know, drive and kick and finding our shooters. When you have 4 people that can knock down threes, especially, you know, somebody like Lindsay Hogan, who's a taller player who people aren't going to go out and play right away, when she can hit shots, that just opens up everything, and it really makes us hard to guard.
Not going to put too much pressure on her or you, but you've coached basketball for a long time at many different levels. Hogan, she's only a sophomore. She's still a kid, but wow, what a special player she could become. 5'10", knocking down threes. You mentioned on the air. I think she's got next level potential.
She does, and we've been talking about that. And, you know, I've harped on it a little bit with her on her defense and her rebounding, which, you know, is the last thing.
She heard you tonight, though. She was getting some rebounds.
She sure did. And, you know, that's the last thing that kind of comes. But, yeah, she can be a very special player, being able to knock down shots, drive to the basket at her size. I mean, really, she can almost project as a point guard to the next level because you see how well she sees the floor. You know, again, just another gift for us to have on the back line, being able to start the break like that. And you saw her, I mean, we were struggling at the beginning. She made an incredible shot to get us going. I wish I could say it was all coaching, but her parents have a little something to do with that.
All right, not to put too much pressure on you now, but the chapter 1 is done, right?
Yes.
And it could not have been better. An undefeated regular season. Now you go to the second season, which is what you play for. You'll likely be one of the top 2 seeds once the seeding has come out. How deep a run can this team make?
Well, that's a great question. You know, Nassau County A is chock full of so many solid teams. We scrimmaged some of the better teams earlier in the preseason, and then played some really good teams in the non-conference. It's been a while. We've tried to do our best to scout, but really, as long as we're just playing our game, we're going to roll the dice and see where it goes. You know, we'll certainly match up with some teams, but we feel hopefully that we're going to make teams come to us, and with the style of play that we have. the sky's the limit. We're just going to continue though to do what we've been doing, one game after the next. I said to the coaches on the bench right as the buzzer sounded, I said, okay, now the real work starts, and but that's what makes it fun. And just getting to this spot a couple of years ago was our goal, and now to be able, hopefully to get one of those top seeds is a dream come true, and we'll respect all our opponents, but we're not going to fear anybody.
Well, the dream continues for
Let's hope
Locust
so.
Valley. Thank you so much for joining us post-game, and we look forward to seeing you as well in the postseason.
Thanks, and I'd just like to say a quick hi to my family in Delaware. Hope you guys are watching.
There you go. The family in Delaware gets this shout-out by the head coach. You see some of the...
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I messed it up. It's Maryland. They used to be in
Maryland.
Delaware. I'm sorry.
They moved from Delaware. No problem. I mean, listen, you're undefeated. You're allowed a mistake or two. You can see the players getting the picture in front of the seniors, and what a year it's been here for Locust Valley. We'll recap some of the scoring, but Ben, look, we just heard from Coach, and a special team, it would seem, that they've got a lot of those ingredients, as he said, to make a deep run.
And I would expect them to do that. We'll see where they wind up, whether it's the 1 or 2. I don't think it matters. It really doesn't, because you're going to Farmingdale by the semifinals anyway. So, I was impressed. It was our first girls' game of the season, and we picked a good one to follow Locust Valley. So I think we're going to get a lot of fans here now, following them along for the ride, and we'll see how far that ride takes them.
Yeah, so we'll recap some of the scores before we leave the air. For Locust Valley, leading the way, as kind of expected, and you can see some of the pictures she's taking right now. Paige O'Brien with 22 points, a game high for her. Teeny had 12, 10 for Hogan, 8 for Sabatino, and Linden with 6. So very nearly 5 players in double-figure scoring to lead the way for Locust Valley. And we mentioned Hogan there, too, with Coach. She's got the ability to be someone very, very special. I'm sorry, Ben?
No, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, for sure. Hogan was very impressive today. I think she's going to play a big part in the postseason. I think we're going to see her name called a bunch, and who knows,
And just to recap quick, for Clarke, Murphy with 12 points, 9 for Jenna, all from 3 and 4 in the fourth quarter, 6 points for Bongiorno. And we'll show you again what we have coming up. A lot of playoff basketball, girls and boys. It's all going to be for you on varsitymedialive.com. There is your upcoming schedule.
Right, those are the semifinals, and who knows, we might have a quarterfinal game that we might throw someone's way. We'll find out. We'll see what the matchups look like, but for sure, you can count on these games being broadcast live at varsitymedialive.com. February 17th, which is next Monday, a week from today. I think that math is right. A week from today is Class B. Then this class, Class A, where Locust Valley plays on the 29th.
That's a Saturday.
That is a Saturday.
Sunday, the 1st.
And then the next day, that's a big weekend for basketball, 11 and 1:30. Those are the times. And on the boys' side, we could show you the boys' side as well, because we'll be doing those games as well. The semifinals, we'll be live streaming those the 18th, so the day after. So that'll be Tuesday at 5 and 7.
And then those quadruple headers there,
yeah.
29th and 1st, all at Farmingdale State University.
If you love basketball, then you want to be at varsitymedialive.com for all this action.
Yeah, and we look forward to bringing it to you as well. So that should do it here for us from Locust Valley. And again, a big win for the Falcons. Congratulations to them on history being made, but now they're chasing a different kind of history, looking to win a county title. We'll be there to detail their run and really whoever else makes it to that point as well. For Ben Turchin, I'm Dylan Butler. Thank you for joining us tonight. And again, we look forward to you joining us throughout the postseason as well. Have a good night.